Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome back to the Global Drumbeat, the Caribbean Running Show right here on WRFG Atlanta, 89.3 FM. Hope everyone is having a wonderful, wonderful Friday. Yes, yes, man. We're just spreading some love, playing some roots music, trying to lighten the mood. Hope every put a little spring in your step, you know.
A little full joy Fridays, you like to say?
Yes, full joy Fridays. No half joy, full joy.
Exactly. Full joy every time, every time. Well, I mentioned earlier that we had some special guests on the show today. So good afternoon again, Caribbean Runnings family. You know what time it is. It's Friday's Global Drumbeat, Caribbean Runnings. And today we've got something special. We have the cast members here of a new show that's streaming on Tubi called From Yard. And we have cast members David Heron and Shivrata Oliver, along with director Leland Benford. And this groundbreaking show is a coming of age immigration story following a young man as he moves from the sunny island of Jamaica to the New York City area in the late 60s. And that was a time of a lot of immigration for Caribbean people, whether they were going to the United States, Canada, Europe. My parents migrated, not in the 60s, but I believe in the 70s.
Mhm, mhm.
So it was, I was that person too in New York City growing up. And yeah, I was a coconut. Yeah, they called me that. It's all good. And I embraced the coconut in me. Okay. Anyway, I want to welcome all of the cast members here today. Welcome to Caribbean Runnings. And I am going to start with who should I start with? I guess I should start with David since I know David. And as many times as David and I have spoken, communicated, and have built a relationship over the years, I'm still waiting to meet him in person. We just talked about
That's right. Yeah.
today. Yeah, but welcome to Caribbean Runnings. And I did watch the show, and it was so surreal to see you on there. And let me
Oh, thank
say,
you.
boy, Caribbean people, parents will, and I'm sure I do, screw up their fists. I'm telling you, you got that down packed, David.
Oh, thank you. Can you hear me okay?
I hear you just fine, loud and
Great.
clear. Tell me what drew you to this movie. I know, and I just want to clarify too, because the person, one of the creators is David G. Heron, who wrote
Yes.
Yardy, not to be
Yes.
confused with
Yes.
this David Heron that we have here.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. Well, for clarity's sake, my namesake has now the official new name is Dave G. Heron. So that should clear up some of the confusion. So Dave G. Heron, who I believe is actually a relative of mine. We still have to work out the family tree, but we have mutual family friends and acquaintances. And he had sent me his amazing book a couple of years ago, and we kept in touch over the years. And then, approximately 2.5 years ago, he advised me that he had followed the advice of a nephew of his to do a screenplay adaptation of From Yard, and that it was now going to be a series. And he wanted to know if I would be interested in playing the role of his dad, Samuel Heron.
Mm.
And of course, I didn't hesitate because I knew him and I knew his life story. And a couple of months later, we got the great news that the production had been fully cast. Leland was on board as producer director, and I was on a plane off to good old Atlanta to shoot my scenes there.
Now, you should never have mentioned that. So you come to Atlanta and film and you still never call me, David. We're going to talk about that.
We'll
We're going to
get to
talk
that.
about
I
that
was there for that.
after.
Yeah, yeah.
So
That's a, yeah,
that's
yeah.
off
We
the
need to have
air.
that conversation.
Okay. Now, Vibrato, am I pronouncing your name correctly?
Chevrado, yes, you are. Hello, everybody.
Hello, hello. I watched the show. You, your acting was just spot on. And
Thank you.
I like how there's a word for it. Is it called code switching?
Yeah.
Right. And you did that very, very well in the movie. Um, Tell me about how you got started in acting and what drew you to this role.
Oh, thank you. I got started when I was a child at about 4 years old. My mom brought me to church, and they had
You
a
know,
bunch of church plays, and we had to recite poems. and I really loved it. And then I moved into doing drama in high school, primary school back in Jamaica, and I would always just be so eager to take on the roles there. And then I was brilliant in school, but I still wanted to just express myself, dramatically telling stories and doing all those things. And then acting was just something that I felt would be the vehicle that I could use to tell all the stories I wanted to tell. And at the same time, not be boxed into one particular career because I could be everything. I could be a doctor, I could be a cop, I could do whatever. So it started there and then it, you know, grew and grew until, we're here.
We're here, we're here. Was there anything that you did specifically to prepare, like for casting, or were you just picked? How did that work?
Okay, so that's a funny story because I came to the States in 2018, and then I came home to a message on Facebook from Dave G. Heron, right? So he said he sent me a message. It wasn't him. I think it was, yeah, he sent me a message and he wanted me to send a tape because he thought I looked like him. He saw a photo of me standing on a rock and he thought I had some similar features to him. So I did the self tape, I sent it over, and then I got cast and we started talking about it. And he told me about the book. Then he sent me the book uh, around about in COVID, and I read it and I was like, this is pretty interesting. So since then, I started just talking to him, getting like insights to how he lived and what he believed, and I kind of created that character because it's a little different when you're playing somebody real, right? It's when somebody is cultured from just your thoughts, you can assign any backstory you want to them. You can assign any motivation to them, and then the audience would just see that character being played out. But when you're playing somebody real who there are many points of references to his life, it's more difficult. You have to find his nuances. You have to find the truth in his life. So I had to talk to him a lot and then just research. And then, with Leland's help and the rest of the cast, we made it work.
Nice. So Leland, I want to say hats off to you, and here's why. This is a pet peeve of myself and many other Caribbeans, and I'm sure David as well. When you go to the movies and Caribbeans are cast, and you have non-Caribbeans in the part. And the worst part about that is because the accents are so bad sometimes, and you're like, you mean you couldn't find one Caribbean person? So I'm like, great. This is so great. Why was that important to you? If it was important to you, like I'm just saying hats off to you.
Well, thank you. First, I want to say good afternoon, everybody. I
Good.
have learned in my Caribbean travels that's the proper thing to do. I've been chewed out a couple of times. No, that was the mission for From Yard, right? That was the creator, Dave G. Heron. That was his big thing. I hate going to see these Jamaican movies, and you could tell that person's from Texas, and they try to do a Jamaican accent. So that was big, and we did have to commit to that. And as a producer, I told Dave, I said, hey, we could save some money if we do it this way. And he was like, no, we need to fly everyone in. We need to get everyone in their positions and let them shine. I think the we have one Jamaican who's playing a New Yorker, so it's different. So we have Miranda who is from Jamaica, but she's playing a Latino lady. So we try to switch it up a little bit. But no, everyone who is in this movie who has a accent, that's their accent.
Mm. So, tell me, did you have any challenges directing this project? Are you of Caribbean heritage at all? Did you have any challenges, anything like that?
I am from Detroit, Michigan. Um, no, you know what? I had a premonition when I was in film school that I was going to be shooting something in Jamaica. And then we end up out of nowhere, I met Dave G. Heron and we end up having a conversation. He said, hey, I got this screenplay about my upbringing and boom, boom, boom. His first question was this. He said, if you could shoot this in Jamaica, or save money and shoot it in Florida, what would you do? And I said, well, if I can afford it, let's go to Jamaica. He loved that answer, and then we went on from there. So we went location scouting in Jamaica. We shot 3 days there. We had to go cast there. I mean, we had a great time in Jamaica shooting this, to be honest, and just learning about the film industry that's there, which is booming at this moment. So learning about the film industry there and getting to know film people over there and having the film people. We shot 5 days in Atlanta, 3 days in Jamaica. So it was a very busy, and that was all congruent, like all together. So it was a very busy production week. But the cast, we rehearsed for like 3 months.
Wow.
So when we got on set, everyone was just killing it. It was to the point where people were just adding on. It wasn't like, we had to figure things out. All that was done, and they had a place where they could be creative and add on things.
Wonderful, wonderful. So back to David, I have a question for you. Like, how important is it for you as a Jamaican actor to see authentic
I'm
Caribbean?
still on the Zoom, Mom. I'm sorry. My relative was speaking to me, guys.
Oh,
Yeah, sorry, sorry, Shelley. Continue, please.
no problem at all. I was just saying, how important is it for you as a Jamaican actor to see authentic Caribbean narratives represented on platforms like Tubi? And, you're an actor, you've done a lot of different kinds of acting.
Yes. It's wonderful. It's truly, truly wonderful. I had the privilege also of being acting and dialect coach on a wonderful HBO miniseries called Get Millie Black.
Hmm.
And what impressed me about HBO is that they were as determined as From Yard was to make sure that authenticity was maintained at all times. And this was not always the case. There are a couple of films and a couple of TV shows that I'm old enough to remember that I will not name here, where that became very successful at the box office. I mean, people remember them, but nobody who played a Jamaican was in fact Jamaican. And here's the thing, Shelley. Um, I like the idea of Jamaicans playing Jamaicans, but for heaven's sake, there are times when I've been called on to play people who are, from Puerto Rico. And
Hmm.
my whole thing is just be authentic. If you were not actually born in the place, find yourself a dialect coach and work on the accent because to be fair, acting is becoming somebody else. And I would never want to say I can't play a South African or I can't play somebody from Colombia. You understand? But what used to happen is that Hollywood would just get an African American actor with no clue and apparently no interest in learning the Jamaican accent and cast them. So that has changed now. And I thank the internet for that because now people, even if you're in Japan and you've never been to Jamaica, if you're on social media, there's a strong possibility that you have followers and friends who you've never met who are Jamaican. And so I think globally, fake accents and inauthenticity is spotted a mile away. And I think that has led to this effort to at least cast people who, if they're not from the place they're playing, they can at least learn, you
Right.
know, to sound and be authentic.
I would agree with that. I find like in more recent movies with Caribbean roles that definitely the accents are getting better, and it makes the story more believable as you're watching.
Absolutely.
Honest, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Authentic. So I'm going to
Incredible.
ask each one of you, and we can start with you, David. So what do you want people to take away when they watch From Yard? What's the takeaway?
I think the takeaway is that there is redemption in all of us because the lead character of Dave G. Heron, played by Chevrado, has quite the life and story arc. Because from an innocent little boy of 12, 13, 14 years old who comes to the United States and who had been fed the uh, the theory that America was, the streets were paved with gold and it was the land of opportunity. He had a rude awakening in his adolescence, had his toe on the line of getting into real trouble with the law, and found a way to turn his life around. I don't think anybody is beyond hope or anybody is beyond redemption. And I think that's what people will take away from this, along with other things like the importance of family and the importance of remembering where you're from.
That's
Because once you honor and remember that, you can chart a path to where you are going.
Nice. I like that. Shivrado, what do you want people to take away from this?
Well, I would really love people to introspect, right? Because quite often we find ourselves being placed in boxes and we exist in those boxes and we live in those boxes and we're limited. So introspect, look into yourself and realize that your potential is not confined to any one box. You're limitless. So he traversed many different paths before he got to where he is. You know, he looked into himself and he saw that there were opportunities that he could take advantage of that were good opportunities. And he took those paths and then he's now here. So look into yourself, realize that you're not boxed in, you know, you're not your surroundings, you're not the people who you're around. You are greater than that. And just go for it.
Love it. Love it. Now, Leland, I would ask you that as well. And then if you could just follow up and, give us a little spoiler if there are any plans for more, because I know for me, when I finished watching, I was like, wait, I was actually searching. I'm like, well, where's the next episode? What happened? And I'm just looking, I was like, this is it. So, what do you want people to take away from this? And what can you say about, will there be any more in this?
So for what people can take away from it, I mean, these guys definitely covered it. They know the story. I would say my favorite thing about this project is when we had our premieres in Jamaica, when we had our premieres in Atlanta and also New York, when we went through the film festival circuit with this. Um, People from the island just coming up to me and saying, wow, you just really sparked a memory I haven't had in years. And oh, I remember when I was a kid and we would get the mangoes and I would do this. And those are the conversations that I value so much. Story. He left when he was 14. He's in his 60s now, so it's been a long time. So I really wanted to help him have vivid memories again and have that imagery. So that would be my thing. I would love the viewers to take away. If you are from Jamaica, if you left, this is a little piece of home that you can put on and be like, oh, like if you look at the film, I shot Jamaica very warm. I shot Jamaica different than how we shot New York. In New York, everything is claustrophobic and tight. In Jamaica, everything is more open and more, you can see more of the greenery and the earth and the land. So that would be my takeaway. As far as what's coming up, I feel very privileged and because I know the rest of the story. I know everything that happens in this story. Our goal is to get to 4 parts. Right. So we have From Your, the series is out now. That's part one. Our goal is to get people to go check it out. And if we can make some money off of it, then we'll put it into the next one. Then we'll make some more. We want to continue this going on and we want to get to the 4 parts of it. So then this way, the full story of David G. Heron can be seen. But there's so many twists and turns and little swerve ups that I know lie ahead that I'm excited to share with everybody.
Exciting. I'm excited to watch it because again, I was just like, what weird twist the rest of the story. So I love it. David, I'm going to give you the final words here. Share social media or anything else you'd like our audience to know before we go.
Sure. Well, I'm going to leave it to Chev and Lee to give the audience their social media, but we can be found. Our website is fromyardtheseries.com. Our Instagram is fromyard_the series. And my personal Instagram is at David Heron, the artist. Any one of those platforms will yield you a lot more information about our show.
Great.
Chev?
All right, guys. So you can find me at TRONIC_SHEV, or you can just type my full name, Shavrado Oliver, into any social media platform. You'll find me.
Nice.
And same for me. If you Google Leland Benford, it'll pop up. But my Instagram is leland.the.director.
Nice. Thank you guys so much.
Pleasure.
And Congratulations on your project streaming on Tubi. Nothing tickles me more personally than when I could turn on my TV and watch Caribbean stories, and especially authentic Caribbean stories. So I
Thank
applaud you. Thank you. Keep up the good work and bring some more. We're ready.
We got more
thank you,
coming.
Shelley. And gonna ask you to please spread the word on your own social media about how you feel about the show. Your review it means a lot to us, honestly.
Oh, honestly. Okay. Absolutely. Absolutely. We'll do that.
Thank you.
So much for tuning in. It is Caribbean Running. It is Friday's edition of the Global Drumbeat. It's your girl, Red Carpet Shelley. We will be right back.
Uh,